everybody. This is Delzino Wilson Debriano, president of Tag Team Marketing, leading the Black Business Network and the Buy Black movement. And I am blown away because today I am in Lithonia, Georgia, Main Street, Incorporated Lithonia. And this is like the new Black Wall Street. Green Love, y'all got the new the hottest restaurant in town. Green Love Kitchen. Off the chain. They are actually feeding each other. There's about 8 small black business owners, all young, all under 40 years old. Wow. That they are actually nation building. They are doing the work that our elders and scholars have been talking about for some time. They are actualizing it. Wow.
We can't invest in ourselves. Who else will?
Who else will?
All right, we back on. Let's get it going.
Hey.
All right, so welcome to Finding the New Black Wall Street podcast. This is going to be an amazing episode. Like, it's crazy that we're able to do this. You know, I'm sitting next to greatness right to my right and to my left. This episode is all about Luxor Lounge. Annette Radford is in the building. Somebody give it up for Annette, y'all.
Hi.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Hey.
How you feeling today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Awesome. Before we start getting into that and Luxor Lounge, we're going to introduce the man that needs no introduction.
Oh boy, here we go.
I ain't going to dog you out like she about to dog you.
Oh, we going in.
I'm not.
We going in.
We going in today? All
Yes.
right, let's do it. Yeah, so Baba Kaz is in the building. Finding the New Black Wall Street. The book is coming out soon. Yo, guys, I just wrote my last paragraph like 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
So
What's the timeline?
I can't do that.
Oh man.
But they say like the chef never gives away the secret.
That's
Oh
correct.
man,
That's
I gotta
correct.
know when we gonna have it in the store, man. I gotta read it first.
Well, just feed us a little bit.
So
Yeah,
I got y'all. Y'all gonna get the backstory. Really, y'all gonna get like the proof of the book.
Okay.
Because you guys are in the book.
Okay.
All right, both of y'all in it. You guys both play a very important role, right, in finding the new Black Wall Street.
Okay.
So, Annette, let's give the people background, you know, about Annette Radford. Who are you? What are you doing?
Okay.
Everything.
My name is Annette Radford. I'm a graduate of Georgia State University. I graduated with a dual degree in accounting and healthcare management.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of things as an entrepreneur for many, many years. One of the things is Luxor Lounge, which is a bar and restaurant located on Main Street.
What's the address?
The address is 6967 Main Street, Lithonia, Georgia.
Instagram
is Lithonia, Luxor Lounge in Lithonia.
Get it right.
And on Facebook, it's Luxor Lounge and Bistro.
All right.
So we don't have a Twitter, but those are the two main ones. But we kind of promote on.
And when was Luxor Lounge open? Like give us an opening date.
Luxor Lounge was open October 14, 2014.
2014.
Yes, so I've been there 7 years.
October 2000.
October 17th, 2000. October 14, 2014.
Yo, I know there's a crazy backstory with Luxor.
Crazy
right?
backstory.
It's a real crazy backstory.
I need to, you see, because that's how I met you. Because we were opening up the restaurant in like 2015, and we saw some stuff happening, but we was just minding our business. We was new to the block. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And
I don't know if I want to share that part of it, but yeah, it was some things
it was like
going
lucky
on.
something. But I was like,
You didn't start off by yourself,
No, I did not start off by myself.
but you ended by yourself.
I
It's
did
not
end
how
by
you start;
myself.
it's how you finish.
Exactly.
there you go.
Yeah, she bulldogged some folks. Like,
No, I didn't
straight
bull.
bully.
No. Get your
Yeah, straight bully.
I am a woman of business. Okay,
A smart one at that.
I'm about business.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
about
play.
handling business and doing things right in the correct way and making things happen.
There you go.
When you're dealing with individuals that are not on the same page when you're opening up a business, that's not a good thing. And I'm about business, so I had to move forward and do what I had to do.
All right, so
that's
we're
why-
going to keep it
real
clean.
good, Nat. As soon as she cleaned that up. Oh, man.
It was
All right,
clean.
we're gonna keep it right
Oh,
there.
we see the clean version of it today.
I know,
we're
she
gonna
not
have
giving us the real.
to push the buttons to pull all that out of her.
I know, right?
That ain't how she would normally tell the story.
That's because you know what, business is business, and you got to keep it professional.
It is,
and that's how I kept it. And that's like I said, I'm a female entrepreneur,
go.
female single owner,
African American,
black woman,
melanated.
That's right.
So what made you choose Lithonia?
Well, you know what? Well, Lithonia back in the day also used to always have a lot of live entertainment on Main Street.
Okay.
So it's been known for having like a live band out on the street. They used to do this Bourbon Street type thing or whatnot. So I wanted to still be a part of that and bring that livelihood back to Main Street.
You did, by the way. That's what this is about.
And we're still doing it now.
And you still, because we got a show tonight, right?
That's right. We had a live band tonight, and we had a live band tonight, and we do it every Friday night. And so we do some things on Saturday with a DJ, and then we do sports, and we also have live entertainment on Sunday night, which we call Southern Soul.
And you and the Falcons every game.
Yes, I'm a Falcons supporter, even though somebody likes the Dallas Cowboys on the other side over there.
Well, I'd rather be a Cowboy fan than a Falcons fan.
Oh, that's all right. It's okay.
But we're gonna see this weekend.
Yeah, we won last weekend.
But we're gonna see this Sunday.
That's all right.
I might come to Luxor just so I can smack you upside your head.
Well, come on, so I can smack you back and let you.
What time the game start?
The game starts at 1.
At 1.
At 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. Make sure you guys show up. Right, and so once again,
I'm glad you're sitting in between us.
I know,
Me too.
like I feel like I'm the referee. I feel like a referee. Like I'm the guy that got to keep this thing, because they leave it up to these two. Man,
that's my sis though.
So
for
hold
real.
on,
Yes.
it's funny because Kaz was just telling a story about you, so that's why my business partner was like, "Oh,
that's what he said. Oh, look, he said something nice.
Well, I want Kaz to tell the story about the
hamburger story.
Yeah, the hamburger story.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, what's the hamburger story?
You about to hear it.
Oh God. Okay.
So, real talk, no jokes aside, Annette is a phenomenal chef. Like, real talk. So, she got me hooked on her cooking. And Annette being an entrepreneur, we're just talking about Luxor. Annette is a serial entrepreneur, for real. Mm-hmm. So she wears many hats. I'm giving her props. So she wants to get out of the kitchen. So she's been trying to hire cook after cook after cook. And I'm like, I don't want none of that. So every time I would come in to Luxor, if Annette wasn't cooking, I wasn't buying any food anyway. So this one time she was there, and I said, hey, I want my burger. Are you cooking? Yeah, Cass, I'm cooking. Cool. I went and sat down. 20 minutes later, Annette arrives with this burger. And she's standing there watching me. I took one bite. I got halfway through the chewing process. I said, this ain't your damn cooking, Annette. And she was like, how do you know? When somebody can cook.
Yeah.
When they can cook, they're cooking.
That's a fact.
She can't fool nobody, but she figured if she fooled me, she could fool everybody else. That's what the move was, but it didn't work.
That was a mistake. That was a whole.
But the burger was still good.
How you know?
Because you ate the rest of it.
I don't know about it.
Look, you did.
Right,
I was probably hungry.
So the point of the story is, but definitely.
But definitely, yes. To be honest, I know how to cook, but it's not something that I want to do. We have been looking for different cooks and things like that to come in, but we want everybody to still have quality food and taste great. So that's why I always end up back in the kitchen.
We talk about this all the time, right?
Yes.
Like folks will try to ask for a job and say they could cook.
Exactly.
And they could do this and they do that, and then when the lights are on, right, and business is open.
Exactly. It's a whole different ball game.
Is it? I mean, because both of you are restaurant owners.
Yes.
So, isn't that one of the most difficult things in the restaurant business? Is you start off with this bomb chef. Even if you start off with if you hired this chef. The chef is so empowered because people are coming because of
their food.
And then if they leave, it's a drop off. Because I remember years ago, Oprah Winfrey's restaurant in Chicago.
Yeah,
they lost a cook, and the business just went downhill after that. So that's such a critical piece of the business aspect, and how do you maintain that excellence?
Well, I mean that's one of the things that's true, because not only just with Because them they coming down, I get that from other restaurants and people who come down and they're coming in the bar and go, oh, is Annette cooking? Is Annette cooking? They be trying to peep in the kitchen and things like that. But one of the things we try to make sure our recipes are consistent. But that's a true factor that if you don't have consistency in that kitchen and somebody who can really cook, you're going to lose business.
Exactly.
And that's been really hard, in a small business, trying to maintain and keep somebody that who's going to follow the guidelines and who can really cook. And maintain.
Because it's the truth. If you're not cooking, I don't want it. And I know, and you're my friend, so I want to support your business, but I'd rather buy a drink. I'm just not getting no food because it's a drop off.
But even with the drinks, right? Depending on who the bartender is.
Exactly.
Now, that
the
could be
same
a
thing
true
can
too.
apply too.
Yeah, so it's really and truly what we study in the E-Myth, because once again, we do try to be the best business owners,
Exactly.
professionals, entrepreneurs, and do the thing in a way where it's sustainable, right? It could be duplicated
Correct.
over and over and over and over without the owners of the business being so
physically
entrenched.
working.
Yeah, so
Right,
yeah,
right.
because once again, we have a passion. That's why we took the biggest risk.
Exactly.
And we showed up, and then once again, that's why I want to know, like, what made you come to Lithonia? Because obviously, it's not like from a socio-demographic standpoint,
Socioeconomic.
socioeconomic,
Right.
all
It's
of
not.
it.
Right.
It's not.
Well, both of y'all, because you were right before, Luxor was right before Green Love.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I was
Yeah,
actually here, I think, maybe a year or two?
Yeah,
Year and a half?
exactly,
Yeah.
year and a half. Yeah.
Because we one of the things, like I said, I'm
Exactly,
born and
yeah.
raised in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so I've been out in the circuit, like where you see where they have entertainment a lot. And one of the things when I came to Lithonia, like I said, they used to have this club where I was called Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And it had a reputation that, people would come out
She
and
cleaning
party.
that shit out. She cleaning it all the way out.
But, that's everybody so need to know. Need to know, baby.
Hey, look, this is
So,
our podcast.
look-
Hey, you
What
out
go on in Luxor, stay in Luxor?
That's right.
That's a
That's right.
BS in America.
Whatever.
You know it.
No. What happens in Luxor Lounge? Stay in
Spills
Luxor
over
Lounge.
in the street.
It's free, right?
Exactly.
Look, we didn't let everything spill in the street. But, like I said, it was known for having different things. And I also, like I said, wear many different hats.
Yeah.
I also believe in myself as being able to put on different events, and I do event planning and things like that. So that was one of the things, like, okay, let me come down here and I'm going to get this thing back, popping the way it used to be, and bring people back to the city. And like I said, we do that on a case-to-case basis. Sometimes we have events because, Cash, you put on event annually now, don't you?
Yes.
And so, what is it again?
Black
Tell
Dot
it.
Cultural
Black
Arts
Dot Cultural
Festival.
Arts
Shout out to
Festival.
the Black Dot Cultural Arts
And
Festival.
and all of us come out, and the vendors come out, and the restaurant owners, and we come out and do food and things like that. So people are learning about what we do here on Main Street. And like I said, not 100% of us the businesses are Black owned, and we support each other. Because everybody, hey, we got this going on. Y'all want to participate? So, we encourage people to come out and just keep running our business. And we also want to bring people in that has a positive attitude, that want to work and want to keep, we want people that's dependable.
There you go.
And I think that's something that's important that you said. As independent, like the three of us are independent business owners on Main Street, but we work together. Like I'm going to support. When I eat lunch or dinner, I'm going to everybody that cooks. I don't just, I might have my favorites, but I support everybody because it's important that all of us come up. So we don't operate out of that crabs in a barrel mentality. We operate as a collective.
Even though, as a cook, sometimes you get tired of eating your own food. So I come down to Green Love and eat, get my lunch or whatever it is, because I don't like.
You ain't had no coffee in a minute, Joker.
Well, I don't drink coffee, but I do come down and get your lotions and things like that. So
Whatever.
You drink tea.
Well, when I drink tea, I want to go to sleep, so I be busy working. So
That part. She's a hard worker, guys.
But I do support by buying things and things like that. He don't.
And also she was like one of the first members of the LBA as
That's
well.
correct. That's
yes.
correct.
When we came together as businesses
That's
to
correct.
have a voice to pretty much bang on the city.
That's correct.
Because the city has had a bad reputation, in terms of
not
supporting.
being supporters of us business owners.
They're not supporters of our business.
And
It's
still
not.
It's just,
Still not, right?
It's still not. It's a constant fight, but it's a fight that has to be had.
Somebody
United
got
fight.
it.
Yeah, you
united
can't run
front.
from it.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
There
We
you
have
go.
to
Because it
always
affects
band
your
together.
bottom line. If
Correct.
you do run from it, it affects your bottom line.
Big time.
That's
Big
correct.
time. It is, and this is why we need to have these type of open dialogues and conversation, because the work that we put together and did 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, like
Exactly.
it was a collective of minds and workers and hustlers. So before we even get to that, like Annette, I know you have a whole nother field that you dibble and dabble in. I think
Yes.
it's important that the audience knows what you do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I have my own tax and accounting firm. I also do nonprofit setup and nonprofit management. And like I said, it's also running the bar. I do event planning and entertainment planning. It's just a number of things that I do, just kind of like wear a lot of different hats.
Like and a mother, right?
Yeah, and I'm mother
And a
too.
grandmother.
And a grandmother.
Oh my God.
Yes, you about to turn to be a great grandmother, ain't you? No, I'm just joking.
He about to be a grand-
I know. You about to be that great granddad.
There you go.
Don't put me in that category.
I don't want you to miss something. You don't just have a tax and accounting business. You're a CPA.
Yes.
I mean, that's big.
Yes, it is.
That's big because I tell people, if you're going to go to accountant, make sure you're going to pay more, but you need a certified public accountant.
Correct.
there's value in that.
It is.
So don't miss that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks
I'm a
for stressing
CPA.
that. Oh, that's amazing. You see that, guys? Like, this is black girl magic, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, so not only is she running a whole entertainment, but so I guess the entrepreneurship spirit, where did that come from?
Well, my father basically has always been, even though he worked in corporate America, he has always had his own businesses. Like he had his mechanic shop. I mean, he did certain things that he's always instilled in us. You can always build your own, even though you're working for somebody else. Don't always think you're gonna get everything from this worker. If you want something extra and be able to live in life and live the right way and be happy, get your own on the side. So he's always encouraged us to do things on our own.
Not to mention you don't like listen to nobody anyway. So
That could be true.
That wasn't a leap for you.
Wow.
I think that was born in me as being a Leo.
Now we gonna pull the Leo thing out here.
I mean, hey.
You gonna put the applause on there.
There we go.
So having that leadership, and I do have that leadership spirit and attitude, and I
Yes.
instill that in my kids as well. Like I said, my father has always encouraged us to basically do your own thing. And I said, I never forget, I used to work for this company and where I was the manager, and my boss was the CFO. And he basically told me, he said, you know why I'm not ever threatened about losing my job? And I was thinking like, okay, I mean, I know you're making a lot of money, but whatever. So he was like, because I always do things on the side. I always have something going on beside just my main job. And that kind of stuck with me too. And I'm like, okay, so this man is a CFO making over $100,000 a year, but then he's still doing something on the side to get more money.
Yeah.
So that was intriguing to me. So I started thinking, okay, I can do the same thing.
There you go.
And again, with my dad pushing me and pushing all of us, I said, okay, let me see how I'm gonna make this work for me. So everything that I was learning there about grants writing and all this kind of stuff, working because it was a QF federally qualified healthcare facility.
Okay.
So they did things for the low income individuals, that would come in and provide health services and things like that. So basically, it was grant funding, all kind of stuff. They was doing giveaways, and we used to have to do events and things like that. So that's how I got involved in all of that, and gave me the aspect. I'm started thinking, okay, how can I make this make money for me?
There you go.
I see them getting all these grants and funding and doing all this stuff, and also helping people. And I like to help people and also be engaged in activities and things like that.
What you got to say about that?
I have to say this. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I articulate this right because I'm really giving you props when I say this.
It's about time. No, I'm just kidding. He's a good friend when he encourages.
No, but I know her just like I know Javon. It's there are grant writers and then there are grant writers, and one of the things that you taught me, right, is I've talked to other grant writers and they say, yeah, I'll get 15 or 20 or 25% of what you get, and you get nothing. You're gonna pay me on the front end, but I'm gonna get what you're gonna get yours. But the lesson that taught me is not so much that you wanted your money on the front end, is that you're a professional. You actually know what you're doing. And you're not going to work unless you're getting paid. But people are going to get the results
And that's the main
that
thing
they want to do. And that's why I was trying to figure out how to articulate it without making it seem like you're doing business in a different way. It's just when you start, there's levels.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you start getting to levels of like really getting things done, you getting paid. You paying. You paying for that service. It's it's like I don't want to hear nobody say I'll get mine on the back end anymore. because very seldom do I get what
anything.
anything, and I've learned that from being in business for 4 years. When you hear that, just keep run.
Yeah.
And there's also another saying too, right? Where we talk about like you can't afford to pay it, you can't afford not to pay it.
Exactly.
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 Yeah, because you pay now, you pay later.
Right.
Exactly.
So she's not any old person that says, "Oh yeah, I do grant writing." This is for real, for real.
There you go.
If you serious about what you're trying to do, she's the one to reach to. But just be prepared.
Prepared.
Be prepared.
Well, be prepared to get what you ask for, and you're going to get quality work. And I'm going to make sure whatever I say I'm going to do, I basically hold my word to it.
There you go. So
you might have to track her down and chase her around the corner a little bit and bump her head and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. It's a miracle, guys. This interview came about because I was getting out the car yesterday, and it was like I ran into her. I'm like, yo, I gotta do the interview.
He did.
And she came.
Yeah.
She wasn't on time. Annette ain't never on time.
I was 5 minutes late. That's because somebody stopped me.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yes, I told him between 3 and 3:30.
You did.
I got here at 3:35.
Hey.
Oh, you want a cookie?
No.
Said you was only 5 minutes late.
5 minutes.
Y'all don't mind us. We do this. So this is what we do.
We're gonna take a break for the sponsors real quick. All right. Today's sponsor is.
Today's show is brought to you by Black Dot Cultural Center and Bookstore. Black Dot Cultural Center and Bookstore on the east side of Metro Atlanta is a sacred space with the finest imported African coffees, books, events, and diaspora-inspired jewelry, art, and accessories. Visit us at 6984 Main Street, Lithonia, Georgia, or online at blackdotcc.com. There is light inside the Black Dot.
The Black Dot, y'all. Y'all heard that first.
I was expecting that. You got me on that one.
We got the founder, the owner, the CEO.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to add anything to it? Anything happening that we need to know about?
I remember the first time I came down to Luxor Lounge.
Tell us about
I remember
that.
this. I remember it too.
I walked in there. I sat at the bar. I got me one drink and I left. And they were looking like, one drink, right? But that's just what I do. Then I would come back the next time and I'd have one drink and I'd leave. And then Annette says something foul one day.
What did I say?
Like, what's up with you? You just come in here and you out. Who are you?
I didn't say that like that.
Oh, you didn't say it like that.
No.
So immediately, that broke the ice. We've been talking shit at each other ever since.
So she started it.
She started, yeah, like she just gonna bust me out.
You said you remember the story. What's your version of the story?
Well, he did. He would come into the bar and he would sit over in the corner. He would order his drink. He'd look around. He wouldn't say anything. I was going in and out of the kitchen. And I asked the bartender, I said, did he order anything to eat? She said, no. I said, okay. So by the time I come back out the kitchen again, he was gone. And I'm like, well, who is this man? Because everybody else would come in and sit down and talk and sit down and socialize. Well, he'd pop up at the same time every day. He came back again, sat over there. He didn't engage with the bartender or say anything, ordered another drink. And I said, so we were talking about him after he left. I was like, well, this man coming here all the time. He don't say nothing to nobody. Or what if she said, well, he tipped me, but, he didn't say anything. Yeah. I said, well, you should have said something to him. So she was like, well, he looked like he was kind of mad or something. I said, well, I don't care. I'm going to say something to him the next time he come here. And I actually did. I said, how you doing? I said, well, why you don't ever talk to anybody? And he just kind of looked at me. So I said, I just came here to get my drink, so that's what I do. If I want to talk, I talk. That's what he said. And I said, well, excuse me, well, I don't want to talk to you anymore anyways. So
I ain't said like that.
Well, yes, you did. You was like,
you sound like that's
that's why we've been at it ever since.
Man, when I tell you, like, we spent days and days.
It was Green Love Kitchen. When Green Love Kitchen closed, we moved it to Luxor.
Yeah, late night. Sitting outside on the patio.
Outside on the patio.
Eating and drinking.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what Luxor Lounge was for us.
Yes.
That nightlife for real.
That nightlife.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go nowhere. I had to go in the city. It was like right here.
And now, mind you, we talking about not drinking coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I wasn't drinking alcohol back then.
Now look, we've
yeah.
had some nights where people have been walking out sideways and things like that.
I didn't have one of those
It's
nights.
you had like 2 or 3, not one.
No. You ain't never had to take my keys.
Whatever.
I remember you on your birthday.
Really?
Yeah, you couldn't walk to the car.
Well, I don't remember that. So we're not going to talk
Of
about
course.
that. We're going to move past. Well, I remember you on your birthday and you was walking sideways.
Yeah, I got a question. Hold on. Can you tell me like the craziest thing that happened at Luxor?
Yeah, what is the
Oh my
craziest
God.
thing that happened at
Craziest
Luxor?
thing. I think I know what it is, but let me see if it's something else.
It's a lot of things that goes on.
I wonder if
at
it was that
Luxor
girl
Lounge.
you hired there for a while, that crazy one.
No, it
Nah,
ain't
the
that.
crowd one with the leg. The person had the leg.
That's what I. That's
Oh,
what
do
I
I
was
know
gonna say.
that one? I don't think I know that one.
Yes. Okay. Here's the thing, you guys. Oh my God. Please don't take this the wrong way when I say it. Someone had basically, you know, because we rent out the facility for private parties and things like that. So this
That's a
particular
disclaimer.
person,
It wasn't me.
exactly, it didn't have
wasn't
anything to
Luxor
do with me.
Lounge.
exactly. So a young man came. He rented it out. He wanted to do a showcase, and what the showcase was, he had people to perform and things like that. So later on in the show, I mean, it was more of like a hip hop rap type thing, and I was like, okay. So to each his own. I don't judge. One of the performers, well, they had been having a lot to drink. They had been drinking a lot, and this one particular performer, he was on a walker. He had some type of disability,
Yes.
and he wanted to. Well, he got intoxicated, and he wanted to perform. And we have a stage within the bar. Mm-hmm. And some kind of way he was trying to get on the stage and they was trying to help him and he was like, leave me alone. And he kind of like threw his body up on the stage. What? He rips his shirt off and he starts singing this song, "This Ain't What You Want." And I'm in shock because I'm like, what is going on here? What is this man can't walk or whatever? Well, he had something like a prosthetic leg or whatever it was. Later on in the night, they was trying to help him into the bathroom, to help him use the bathroom. So as we close, we find the leg in the bathroom.
He left the leg in the bathroom?
Yes, but security guard was like, "Oh my God, somebody left their leg." And we're like, what?
That's crazy.
And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I was like, I didn't know whether to throw it away or just, I said, "But just put it in lost and found. He'll come back again."
Yeah.
Lost and
I
found.
mean, a prosthetic leg, I would think that costs a lot of money.
Did he come back for it?
He actually didn't come back. I think he didn't realize that I don't know where he remember.
He never came back.
He never came back and we kept that leg for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Wow.
Till we finally threw it away.
You know what I thought you was going to say? I thought you
What?
were going to say it was something like what happened with, you seen the movie Dead Presidents, right?
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh, when he beat the
when he
man.
beat the man, he took off his prostate and beat. That's what I thought you was gonna say. It's like he took off his prostate and started beating somebody with it.
That would have been crazy.
That was the most craziest thing that I can mention on air.
Yeah, it was definitely some like I remember like some erotic poetry nights.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff
had
like
we did have erotic poetry nights. They got to be a little bit. I mean, we had a huge crowd, but it was a little.
Yeah, the freaks come out at night.
And we actually have one coming next Wednesday. We have an erotic poetry.
Oh,
Come on,
Lord.
do the plug. Come on, do the plug. Let's hear about it.
I know. Next Wednesday we're having erotic poetry at 8:00 in Luxor Lounge.
Just don't have no more male reviews.
Oh, that was
We'll see.
Because I can't come in and get no drink doing that.
You can sit outside. We have outdoor seating.
beautiful outdoor seating. She got you on that one.
That's well.
But
I can't say what I want
to
to
say. The problem is the ladies,
Well,
the bartenders,
Right.
they gonna be preoccupied.
Preoccupied because it's so busy.
You gonna
So
be
you
out
gotta
there
go.
by
You
yourself.
gotta go
Well,
inside
yeah.
to get some attention.
Well, you know what? We kind of killed the little male review thing because you know what? Believe it or not, these women was coming out here spending so much money on these
Since
guys.
when you adverse to money spending?
But this the thing, they didn't want to pay and they want to get one little drink and not eat.
Oh, they weren't
That
paying
ain't-
you.
That wasn't helping me. So it's like, I mean, y'all out here throwing $200 and $300 out here on this man. And y'all can't buy a drink and get nothing to eat? No. So I was like, okay, we gonna have to
I
reach
know
out.
you. I knew you because you about that money.
Exactly.
You about that money.
I'm about that bag.
Yeah.
There we go.
Getting
There
my
we go.
coins.
There we go.
So I was like, we not doing this.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So that you don't have to worry about anymore.
Good.
Thank God.
That's the only thing I ain't like, man, she doing that again?
Thank God.
I can't even go down there.
Well, we're done with that. So we're doing the erotic poetry. So, hey.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it was just some fun times.
Yes.
At Luxor Lounge, it's still fun. You know, we still obviously pandemic.
Yes,
kind of
pandemic
shifted your business a little
It
bit. The
did.
business model.
It did.
You know, how was business like? How did you change your business model? How were you impacted? How's
Well,
it been?
one of the things during COVID, and to be honest with you, I was terrified of COVID. And one of the things, because of the facility, I mean, we call it like the hidden hideaway. It's a small, cozy spot. And so it's being challenging that, you know, we normally pack it out with 70, 80 people up in there in order for me to make a profit and make things work the right way. With COVID, with the distance being where you got to have 6 feet and all of that, things like that, and people didn't like being closed in, and they were afraid of COVID, and then it impacted that you can't really bring in 20 people and think that it's going to be a successful night
There you go.
financially for me. So it was a waste of time. I wouldn't say a waste of time. It was that I would not financially win in that
It
situation.
would cost you more to open than it.
Exactly, because I got to pay for security and staff and things and buy food, and it wasn't going that way. So we pretty much focused on like Uber Eats and Grubhub and things like that on takeout food in order to kind of survive during that portion of it.
Okay.
And so, you know, the thing is, like I said, now we're starting to rebuild and starting to have shows, and people are starting to come back in.
Yeah, because I've been
Things like
cussing
that.
you out for a year.
Nah,
now.
hold
I
on.
know,
It was
I
so
know.
funny, right? You remember when, like, before COVID was a thing in Latonia, Annette had her boards up.
Yeah, exactly.
No. I mean,
Yes, she did.
let me explain that part. The reason why.
We like, what the?
I'm gonna explain why. Listen, every time I would like go on vacation or something when we were open, and every time I go on vacation, somebody come back, my window would be broken.
Yeah.
It cost me $1,500 to replace a window.
Exactly.
You know, with a crack or something. And I'm like, why every time I go on vacation something happened? So when they was talking about this shutdown and things was gonna happen, so I'm thinking, okay, Lithonia finna be a ghost town. Ain't nobody gonna be down here. I'm not trying to spend $3,000 on replacing a window. So I put the boards up just to protect my windows, because I didn't know what was going to happen or how this thing was going, because all these rumors you were hearing about this stuff and shutting down these different places, and the city was supposed to shut down. However, I didn't want to replace them windows.
Wait a minute. If I recall correctly, last time your window broke, you broke it.
Well, no, that's not true. No.
Oh, that's when you tripped.
I did. No, I broke that window.
Yeah, you broke that
time.
one. Yeah.
But when I went on vacation one time before, some little crazy woman came in and cracked the window, hit the window, and cracked the window, so I had to replace it again.
Who was she looking for? You?
No, she wasn't looking for me. I don't know who she was looking for.
You looking for somebody?
She wasn't looking for me.
Oh.
But
I gotta ask.
I heard she just jumped out of the car and just ran over to the window. Some crazy lady was coming through town. But yeah, that's the only reason why.
Nah, you ain't telling the whole story here.
About what?
When we get off the air, you gonna give us the backstory to that one.
Yeah, it seems like we're gonna have
there's
to have
a
part two to
backstory.
this,
That,
man.
don't nobody
There's a
just
lot of
pop out the.
backstories.
Yeah, there's a backstory to that.
She
Ain't
wasn't
nobody
looking
just
for me.
popping out the car, go just jump up, crack the window, and then get in their car and leave.
Exactly.
There's a backstory to that.
She wasn't looking for me.
I didn't say she was. I just know
heard
there's a
about it.
backstory.
Whatever, Cass. What about the story that time about when you was sitting on the patio and a lady came and approached you? You want to talk about that on air?
What patio?
When you was sitting outside the bar and,
And what woman approached
you remember
me?
the lady who was the new ladies that was in the neighborhood?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about? We'll talk about that off the air too.
Oh no,
All
you just
right.
try to make up. You just try to make up some stuff.
Hold on. Let's get back to the good fun times.
Okay.
Hey.
You knew this was gonna happen. You can't put us two in the same
Yo,
room.
I got somebody. Look, I want to bring up two names.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring up the first name. I want you guys to give me your honest feedback. You guys remember
Can I
Chief,
say what I
Chief
wanna
Smith? Chief Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
You remember when he used to shake people down?
Yes.
Did he ever try to shake you down?
Not in a sense to where he would let's say he didn't make it direct.
Okay.
It was an indirect
Okay.
type statement.
Okay.
And me, I just ignored it.
Okay. So you remember Chief Smith?
I remember Chief Smith.
Okay.
I have a favorable memory of him.
Okay.
Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got my business license.
All right.
Because the city council was tripping and holding everything up, and he just rammed that right through.
And then I'm gonna say too, like I said, he was good to me. If I needed anything like security or something, like if the police sitting in the middle of the street and I got an event going on, I'd be like, "Hey, Chief, well, why your boy sitting in the middle of the street?" And he'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to move."
He probably was a shakedown artist, but he was also always present. Like
Yeah. So the thing about Chief Smith, right? He was like what we said, the devil that we know.
right, he was the devil that we know. That is the perfect thing to say about.
Because once Chief Smith left, it was like it wasn't never as good. Like we thought he was at the time.
We
Until
thought he was
left.
the worst, right?
Yeah, we
Till
thought
he
he was
left.
the worst.
He left.
Yes.
You're right.
Until he left, and the next person, which was interesting, Jay West. You guys remember Jay West?
I knew that was going to come like, yeah. Oh my God.
I didn't even think you were gonna bring that up.
Well,
that was the Nets boy.
That's what I was saying.
No.
Put that was your boy right there. Yeah, man.
Don't put that on me. That was y'all friend. Y'all done promoted this man to be mayor. Talk about Jay West and mayor locked up. I was like, and this man was the biggest crook con artist ever hit locked up.
It was so funny. So I wrote all of this in the book. I tell the story.
Did you?
Yeah. Of like,
that needs to go in the book.
Yeah.
Because him and Chief Smith used to go at it.
Yes.
Like for him to what's the irony is how you going after the chief of police when you got warrants out for your own arrest?
Biggest
Like who does that?
Biggest con artist ever.
Who does that?
Exactly. Ball
This
kahunas.
man, oh my God. This
man.
man, I mean, he literally, I've never seen such a con artist in my life.
He was smooth, wasn't he?
He really
Oh,
was.
he was.
He gonna be on the show. He's gonna
He's gonna be on the show.
Because, look, he still owe Green Love some money.
He owed Luxor Lounge some money too.
Exactly.
He owed Luxor Lounge some money.
Exactly. That's my guy. I love Jay
Chief
West.
Smith
man.
got him
Like,
in the end though, did he?
yeah,
Did he
I know,
get him?
right? No.
Chief Smith, no, wasn't it Chief Smith who found the warrant?
So what happened? What you remember? What
I
happened?
remember vaguely a little bit about, from what I understand.
Safari.
All I know, it had something to do with Safari, him not paying that.
It was
rent.
like
The rent, right.
Yeah. So
I think what was his rent was like $4,000
No,
a
he was
month.
writing checks.
fake check.
He was writing fake
He was
checks.
writing fake
But
checks.
Safari didn't like get a whimp of it because Safari has so many
Businesses,
businesses,
things going on.
hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
So once the accountant was able to like single out what was the check,
But
that
I mean,
kept
he
on
was here for
bouncing.
like a year. Was he here?
He was-
It was
He was
less
here
than-
for longer
about
than
a
that.
year. About a year.
Well, then I must have met him when I met him. He must have just got
He
here
just
right
got here.
He
before
had just
me.
got right before
And
you all
it
had
was
started
that
coming.
very same year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had been here about a year, but he had been in this business over there. I mean,
The department store.
the department store.
Because I think
Slash-
he was he there when I moved when I came over here. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish tell the
Yeah,
story.
he
Yeah.
was.
I think he was. He was here, but you started your thing when you moved in with Javon next year.
Exactly.
following
Exactly. In 2015.
Yeah, but he. Oh my God, that was the biggest con artist I had ever met in my life.
Man.
And Chief Smith was so mad that this man was
Exactly.
right here under his nose and was able to just slip away.
He really did. Like his timing was immaculate.
It was like it wasn't meant for him to get caught.
It wasn't.
Not here.
Not
It wasn't.
here.
Not here.
He eventually got caught though.
Yes.
And
he
Chief
did.
Smith tried to catch him every way he possibly could. I was like, I know nothing.
They could actually probably do a movie like a TV docuseries
what
on
I'm telling
Chief
you.
Smith.
And
Yeah.
Jay, well, Annette had a part in it because I remember Annette used to call me. She's like, "Man, Jay keep leaving boxes here."
Yeah, what
Seeing him on the camera.
Jay started having, because I have cameras, of course, everybody do them around outside their business.
Yeah.
Jay kept, and I'm sitting at home one day and I had my camera on, and I see Jay standing outside my bar in the daytime, when I'm not open.
Business is closed.
Yeah, business is closed. So I called him on the phone. I'm like, Jay, why are you outside the bar? He was like, oh, I'm just hanging around. I was like, why? And it's in the middle of the day, around about 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't think anything of it. So I left wasn't looking at my camera. I came back. He was still hanging outside. It was nowhere to sit outside. He just standing around. I said, Jay, everything's good. But I see the UPS truck pull up.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm getting ready to leave. But I didn't continue to watch the camera. I started doing something else. Come to find out, after Jaden fled, whatever you want to call it, I started getting packages. The guy next door, staying next door, he was getting packages, and he was like, hey, do you know Jay such and such? I was like, what? Well, I mean, huge. A large shipment of stuff
Yeah,
came.
the furniture store. What was it? Furniture,
It was furniture,
all kind of
appliances.
stuff.
Christian bookstore.
Yeah,
book.
it was
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Banners, everything.
Anything you can do. He could do flyers. He could do posters. He could do
Oh,
anything.
Jay
He was
could do
the
it all.
most
Jay could do whatever you
interesting
want him to
man.
do.
We called him the most interesting man in the
Oh, my
world.
God.
Like the Dos
And
Equis guy.
but it's like he was smart. He really didn't have to do any of that. Jay was
did.
really smart.
But then he was a smart criminal.
Call him what he is, right? He had us fooled. He had us all.
He had it all of us.
I mean, they were like, Jay for mayor, Jay for mayor. I was like, what? And he was all out there.
Yeah.
Jay done put on a whole event, ain't paid nobody.
Nobody.
Oh my God, I remember that. Like it was yesterday.
I
Yeah.
mean, that was the biggest card artist, and it was the most excitement we've had in I thought you for a while.
No,
It
that's what I'm
is. It
trying to
really
say.
is.
Yeah, like that.
I mean, because
time-
those was all good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the point of the book, to encapsulate that time because we actually went viral, you know.
Yeah, because
Right.
of Black Wall. You're right, Black Wall Street.
That's what actually
Yep.
spurred the idea. Like, are we the new Black Wall Street?
Exactly.
You know, because even though we were a lot of black businesses, were we like thinking collective? Like, was it group economics? Were we, you know, spending our money with each other? Were we cross promoting our business?
I think we had started that without even thinking about Black Wall Street.
No, yeah, we didn't name ourselves that.
Yeah,
I think it was
exactly.
intentional. I don't think it was intentional Black Wall Street, but I think it was intentional to really support
Each other.
each other. So, it was just we understood. It
And
was
I like
to
that
say,
wasn't said.
It was not said. We just did.
We just
And,
did it.
you know, when I say we weren't the typical crabs in the barrel, because that has been black businesses and black
Exactly.
communities
Exactly.
for so long. It's
Exactly.
like this just wasn't. Nobody operated that way.
Exactly.
Because that was my experience when I first came down here. I was like, "Whoa, this is different." Like everybody ain't hating on.
Exactly.
Like real quickly, I was doing door hangers. Like you go to business and you ask businesses, do they want to buy space on door hangers, and then we would hire people to go out in the community and put these door hangers up. So I went to a restaurant that did barbecue. No, first I went to We Got Soul, which is soul food. She said yes, and then I went 2 blocks away to the sister who does barbecue to see if she wanted. She was like, well, no, I don't want to be on there because We Got Soul. Well, you don't sell the same things.
Exactly.
You know, so I was used to that type of back and forth, but when I came over here, it was the complete opposite. Like, you wouldn't have that. Like, Green Love is different than Skinny. Skinny's different than Luxor. Luxor is different than Apple White's.
And
Apple White's
Vons.
different than Vons.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
everybody.
everybody supports. Plenty of times I call Annette, where you going? I'm going Apple White's. I'm going Skinny. I'm going Green Love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what.
Your
That's what we do.
Your employees came to Green Love all the time.
Yeah.
My employees, and you know, even though like I see people on the street, they may come up and ask questions. I tell them, I mean, Green Love might be closed. I'd be like, yeah, we have a vegan restaurant down the street. We have Black Dot Culture Center, you know, Skinny Restaurant, Vons. You know, I tell people. My thing is, you know, because I feel look at this in theory, and God got for me what He got for me, and He got for everybody else what's to do for them. So my thing is, as us coming together as a collective group and Black people working together, because you know that's I always say, Black people don't support each other.
Yeah, we dispelled a lot of myths.
Exactly.
Right. And we get along.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean, we've had our conflicts.
We have our issues, but
Yeah.
you know, we know how to work it out and still move on and keep business as business, and
There
you
you
know,
go.
and keep our personal friendship. Nobody falls out.
Yeah,
about
because I
nothing.
want to choke. I almost choked Annette one day.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
And then, you know, like I remember when we had an after party, for example. It was a friend of mine, Vinny Sankofa.
Yes. Yes.
He shot a web series called The Rapper.
I was just looking at those pictures.
You just looking at the
I
pictures?
was looking at the pictures the
And
other
we
day.
went to a black movie theater.
Yes.
Like
Oh
a
yeah,
black-owned movie
I
theater.
remember
Yes,
that.
Decatur.
Oh yeah, when y'all had the party at my spot.
And then we had the after
Exactly.
party at Luxor.
We just mobbed out. We didn't care
What?
what, like, party at every after party was at Luxor.
Yes,
At
that's
Luxor,
true. That's
exactly.
true.
And
And
we wouldn't tell her. We just show up.
We just
And you know,
popped
because
in.
you're right, because I did not expect. It was actually a flyer put out that the after party was at Luxor, and we found out like an hour before you all was supposed to show up that it was. I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Staff had went home and went
Yeah.
everywhere, and at the time my husband was working there. He had then went out there and started drinking.
Yeah,
so then I mean, we
yeah.
get like probably 100 people come up in there, and they ordering food and drinks, and I'm like, oh my god,
Supporting.
exactly.
Supporting,
You
know?
handled it though.
But he in the
Oh, they
kitchen like,
handled
oh god, I can't do this. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, you talking about funny? No, we ain't going down there. You too.
Exactly.
Oh god.
That's
You
my
too.
guy. That's my guy, by the
Yes,
way.
my guy too.
Yeah.
You need to bring him back
For what?
because it works.
Whatever. Okay, next topic. What we gonna talk about?
So let's move over
I
to
knew she was gonna pivot on that one. She always does.
So we know Annette is in the entertainment game, and a lot of people don't know I'm actually the vice chair of the Downtown Development Authority for Lithonia. And the opportunity came around. These two jokers came together and they put a package together because the city of Lithonia, they do have an amphitheater. A lot of politics took place. Unfortunately, they didn't get the job initially.
The first time.
Yeah, the first
time.
the first go round, and it came about again where Annette had the opportunity. She took advantage of it, and for like 3 years?
3 years.
Has it been 3
But
years now?
It is, but you know the pandemic was one of the years, so
It just shut
so
down.
that
So
seemed
it
like
kinda-
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So she was the amphitheater manager. She was overseeing the amphitheater operations. She put on amazing shows. And what was the weekly show that you did?
it's called Friday Night Wind Up, and it was on Friday where we did a lot of the local bands that throughout Atlanta. That was some of the hottest local bands. We would have them come there every week. But this past year, but actually this year, 2021, we were doing it once a month where we were doing it prior to the COVID. We were doing it every week. And it's just similar to Wednesday Wind Down. We just switch it to Friday.
So now,
switch it up, switch it up.
you're doing that inside now at Luxor, correct?
Well, yes,
Is that
I
what
just
you're
kinda-
calling it? Something similar?
That's what I call it every Friday night. We just call it Friday Night Wind Up,
Right.
or whatever. And it's where again I have some of the local bands that come out every week or whatever. But we're doing it weekly at the bar,
There
so
you
people
go.
can come out and drink and enjoy live entertainment.
And it truly is what you call it, the hide.
The hidden hideaway.
And that's a
hideaway.
perfect spot because it's like you just go there and just chill. You know, I like the
It's
fact I
intimate.
like the crowd. Like it's a mature crowd.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you could just go there and relax. You ain't,
Exactly.
It's
Hold on,
Exactly.
I feel bad. Like we didn't even
What you
offer
feel
you a
bad about?
drink or something. Like,
I
and
know-
I know
I
that
know,
Kaz got a
exactly.
little bar and stuff. You know, you got some water. Like,
don't be looking
Well, you
at
know-
my bar.
I'm looking. Look, I'm trying to see what he got over there now.
you got a little
I'm waiting
personal
on.
Well, you know-
I'm waiting on my Basil Hayden.
Well,
You
believe
ain't
it,
why you ain't turn me on to Basil Hayden?
I can't turn you on
Let
everything.
me tell you something. I'm drinking Crown Royal and I'm down at the
Cigar
Bar.
Lounge.
Shout out to
And
Cigar Bar.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a cigar bar, right.
Life and Times.
Life and
And she
Times.
was like, well, that ain't no, I'm thinking, all my life I'm thinking Crown Royal, some high-end liquor.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell me that it
Basil.
wasn't. And she was like, you ain't doing nothing, brother.
Well, see, you at the
Try
cigar bar
Basil
too,
Hayden.
but that's the cigar bar. They are on high-end cognacs and whiskeys and things like that when you're smoking with a cigar bar. You don't get that at an average lounge.
But you carry it.
Yeah, well, I got it for a special customer that came in.
Have you? So
That
you
he had a
just
private
recently
bar.
started carrying it, or
Yes.
you always had it?
No, I haven't always had it.
Okay.
We just recently started that. He just kind of started coming there, and that's what was one of the requests that
Like,
he had.
and I like it.
A lot of people do, but it's a more high end type taste, whiskey taste.
It is. Like, ooh,
And see the thing, like most of them when they drinking it, they want to smoke a cigar too.
that's true.
So that's one of the things.
true.
So because we get a lot of the cigar, since he doesn't have a kitchen, a lot of the people at Life and Times
Come
come
down.
up and order food through Luxor and things like that. So when they're up there waiting, they getting a drink, they eating and stuff.
But you always had a pretty wide selection of alcohols. You do a really
Yes.
good job because I can get Crown Royal Black. You can't always get the black there.
The XO.
So you do a good job in making sure that, like you said, you had a client,
Yes.
one person, you went and bought Basil Hayden just to make sure.
Because every time
You
he
had
comes,
his drink, right.
Because every time he comes, that's what he wants.
Not
to
everybody
drink.
does that.
Exactly.
Well, when you got somebody that's coming in spending money like that and want to get, I'm gonna make sure he has his drink when he get there.
Well, I was buying hamburgers all the time, and I ain't had a hamburger in 2 years. So what's up with that?
Oh, don't even play like that.
You know that was coming.
Well, you could have came there.
I
and
ain't
got-
had no salmon
You could
and
have came and
shrimp.
got a. You could. That's
That
just
salmon
because.
and shrimp pasta.
That's just because you haven't been down there. We do Uber Eats and Grubhub.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
called
got-
you.
Yeah, we used to get
I called
Uber
you
Eats all
last
the
week
time.
I know they used to get Uber Eats. You called me last week, but
and to see if y'all was open.
we were open,
and
but
you
we
didn't
were
call
busy.
me back. I had
I
already
was
did
in
Uber
the-
Eats by the time you called
I
me
was
back.
in the kitchen cooking, the place where you say I need to be. We had a crowd, and I couldn't call you back.
I digress.
First
All
of
right,
all,
y'all.
let's
She
go back.
right.
Hold
I
it.
can't say
Let me-
nothing
wait a
about
minute.
that.
Hold on. Let me tell you about Kazim Day when he comes down. He calls me. Now my pasta does not even have onions in it. He come down there and want to put some grilled red onions in there.
Yeah.
Then he comes in and tell me he only want his chicken cooked for 10 minutes. I mean, it's just all it's like I'm his personal chef.
I know.
So-
Look, he does that in
so-
the restaurant
Exactly.
too. With his collard
Exactly.
greens, he used to
Exactly.
have the red onions chopped up.
Exactly.
And it
So
was tooth, it
the
was
thing
something else.
is,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
always gotta do something extra when he calls to you. So I give him that extra quality.
You do.
know, when he comes.
You do.
So, but it's like, what he want? I ain't got time right now. He gonna walk down here and get his order.
Man, that ain't right.
Wow, that's so awesome, man. That's so
I got to get a specialized meal everywhere I go.
I mean,
I mean, if I'm gonna keep going to a spot like
Yeah.
as a consumer, then you
Yeah.
might as well get it the way you want it. If I'm gonna, it's not like I don't do that places that I'm gonna bump
I was
in
gonna
and
say,
bump
And it's
out.
not
We're
that
not
bad,
Burger
though.
King. We're not
Yeah,
Burger
you
King.
can't
Yes,
have
y'all.
it your
but
way.
because
Have
we,
it your way.
but
Customers
because
are
we
not
love
always
you.
right.
Exactly.
The customer's always right. There you go. And you love doing it.
No, I don't. But I just do it for you.
For you. for you. I guess
You see how they do me?
Well, brings
They
you to
treat me
my
like I'm looking right in the
next point.
camera. They treat
Listen.
me like a redheaded stepchild.
I got it on you now.
You have no hair, so that's not true.
A bald-headed, redheaded stepchild.
So what would you say, like, just if a person wanted to be an entrepreneur, starting a business, a restaurant, a bar, a lounge, you know, what kind of advice would you give them in 2021 going forward?
Well, my first advice is you need to research the location in the area. You got to make sure that is this something that you really want to do? Yeah. Because being an entrepreneur and starting a bar, restaurant, or whatever, it's a lot of hard work. Yeah. You got to be dedicated and dependable, meaning that you're going to have to go in there. You got to be the one to wash the dishes. You got to be the one to cook. You got to be the one to run out and shop. You got to be the one to basically run the bar or whatever. Make sure this is something that you want to do. The next thing is make sure that your finances and your credit score is good, because the best thing you can do is get a loan to be able to do this. Never utilize your own personal money.
Okay.
You know, you should always borrow against.
OPM,
exactly.
Other people's money.
Exactly, other people's money.
So are you referring to like business loans and those type of things? Or
business, yes, basically business loans. Because the thing about it is, like I said, you want to make sure that you have your credit in place, or if you can go out and get you an investor to help you get your business started and things of that nature, and making sure that you have contract guidelines in place. Make sure that you got, if you're dealing with a partner, that you got a partnership agreement. So things like that, you have to go through step 1, 2, 3, 4. But the first thing is having the passion to do what you need to do.
There you go.
And be willing to step in and do the hard work.
There you go.
And like I said, in doing that too, you got to make sure that some type of funding is in place. Never utilize your own money.
So talk about that. Like how's your fund? Like, did you get taken care of for like COVID and stuff like that? Were you able to take advantage of the?
Okay.
Did you get any reparations, my sister?
Here's the thing. Yeah. Of course, being a business and a black-owned business and a small business, of course, there were things such as PPP loans out there, and yes, I did acquire PPP loans. I do have 3 businesses, so like I said, all of them were affected by COVID. So.
There you go.
I got support. They gave it. I got it.
And
and got forgiven.
Well,
it got forgiven.
Yeah, and Brother Kaz and I were talking about this. Like, it's the work that you did before COVID, meaning you made sure your business was legitimate.
You had to make sure that everything, as far as your finances, as far as your documentation,
there you go.
And dealing with. One thing, I do have my own bookkeeper and accounting, even though that's my field. You never, as a doctor, would never operate on themselves. You never handle your own finances and things of that nature. So I do have my own personal bookkeeper and accountant to handle my business, and therefore I had things in order.
You want to give them a shout out, or you want to kind of keep that?
Well, it's my sister. Her name is Lynn. She's also a CPA, and she has her own tax and accounting firm.
And it runs in the family?
That runs in the family,
it runs in the family.
And she boss, too.
Yeah.
I met the sister. She a boss woman for real.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
That's the only time I saw Annette just be.
No, that ain't.
Be quiet. She folded. She ain't trying to say she's a boss. She's a boss woman.
No.
That was like whoops.
That's because those was words out of her mouth. They know I'm the youngest of 5.
Okay.
I run the family.
You're Leo.
So, yes, that's right.
Oh, here we go with that Leo again.
But one of the things, too, again, like I said, encouraging people to work for themselves. Like I said, have the passion and the goal and the good sense, like I said, to keep your finances in order. And again, like I said, always spend other people's money, not yours.
Can we break down passion? Because, sometimes people think that working for yourself is easier than working at a 9 to 5, when really there are no hours when you're working for yourself. Exactly. You're always working. So when you talk about passion...
Well, that means that, exactly. If you go a couple days without sleep, it is what it is.
It is what it is, exactly.
If you got to get up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because like I said, being that I've had events sometimes that run to 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, like some steppers that used to want to go home.
Talk about
the Chicago steppers over here never want to go home. I may get home around about 3:30, 4 o'clock, but I don't wind down to about 5 to go to sleep. Well, mind you, we have another event coming up, so somebody got to get up. You got to get started, clean up, open the door for the staff or whatnot. But when it's just you, sometimes it's just you and whoever your staff is, and you got to step in and do what you got to do. So that means I got to be back up by 12 noon or by 1 o'clock for them to clean up and get things prepped for the next day. So that's like what, 4, 5, 6 hours sleep, if that much.
And that's just one day. That's like that can go back to back to back to back to back. Because I used to before I started doing sandwiches, I would see you'll be to Restaurant Depot, which is what, 40 minutes away?
Yeah.
And back here by 8 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you have children that you had to get ready to go to wherever. So it's
full
so
time.
when somebody says passion, we gotta like break that down, because I think some people think you just gotta have the passion in your mind. It's work.
Well,
no, it's
working.
Yeah, it's more. It's actually more work, like you were saying,
Yeah.
than 9 to 5, and that was the part why I asked, is because we all had 9 to 5,
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
and we all chose this path. And
Right.
this is the path that is least taken.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we take the risk, and
Yeah.
it's what we tell. Like when our employees try to come in and boss up and tell us how to do it and run a
Exactly.
bit. Like, come on, like.
Let me tell a story about one of our. I think you were at the bar that day. I had an employee. She was in the kitchen. She had been trained. She had been there for a couple weeks cooking in the kitchen, and just so happened that the whole time she had been there, for some reason she had only been doing grilled shrimp for orders or whatnot. This one particular night, this lady asked for fried shrimp or whatever, and I said to her, "Prep the shrimp for me." That means devein it, shell it, whatever.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So she prepped it, but next thing I know, she threw it in the thing. She threw the actual raw shrimp in the fryer to drop it in the grease. So I walked by and just pulled it back up. So I caught, she gave me a little eye like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
In the process, she had spilled some mayonnaise, had fell on the floor. So I told her, I said, you need to get the mayonnaise up before one of us step in, and stop what you're doing and get the mayonnaise up before one of us step in it and fall or something. And she said, you a little bit bossy.
What?
So I'm like,
What's my name?
Right.
first of all, I wanted to say something, but I ain't gonna say this out. What I said, that's because I'm the boss. And so she looked and she was like, well, I don't know if I want to continue working for you. You just ran her boss. I said, you know what? You don't have to. You can hit that clock and bounce up out of here.
There you go.
So she walks out, and Javon happened to be out there. She was telling everybody, oh, I just got fired. So I'm like, whatever. So I can run my kitchen. I don't care if it's 50 people, 100 people. I can run that
Yes.
kitchen.
There you
So
go.
the thing
That's a
was,
fact.
and I really wasn't dressed for it. I had on my doggone Louis Vuitton sandals and stuff. And so I ain't trying to be in the kitchen, but I had to. So she goes outside. She didn't have bus fare to get home.
Oh, hell no.
So she comes back in the club. So look, she comes back in the club and asks me, can she borrow 30 cents? I'm like, what? I said, I don't have 30 cents. She said, well, I can't get home. I said, you should have thought about that
Before you quit.
Exactly. And she was like, she went outside, and I don't know how she got home, because I'm like, that's not my concern. You want to boss up at me?
Right.
I mean, I was like, I am the boss, so what is this?
Exactly.
And Javon said, he told me, he said, well, in there, he said, we had that same problem. They think because they're working there with us, they just like on that level, they can say anything they want to say.
Exactly. I have that here. It's like,
And it's like-
or worse, they think I can't do what they do. I did this for 3-4 years before I
you
even had
showed
my
up.
first
Yeah.
employee.
Before you showed up.
So you know the job.
You know the job.
Exactly. We created the job.
Right, exactly. Because you don't see me doing. Then they be looking at me like, he ain't doing nothing.
You ain't supposed
That's what
to.
I'm paying you for.
Exactly. That's why you get a check.
I think it is. I think it is because we're black.
Yeah.
And we're young, and
Yeah.
we are passionate about.
You and I are young, and Cass ain't young. But go ahead.
Now, see. You think that's funny, huh, Javon? I ain't say you pivot from that.
ain't say nothing.
Oh yeah, you ain't said nothing to that.
Listen, age is not chronological, guys.
Exactly.
I can't say what I want to say.
Man, look, we're coming up right on the hour. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Look out for the book, because you're definitely in
Oh,
there.
wow.
We're
I can't
celebrating Luxor Lounge and its contribution to the new Black Wall Street,
All right.
Lithonia, Georgia. Any last words you want to give to anybody, the audience, whoever? Give anybody.
Hey, just come out, support. We love you guys. Come out here and support everybody on Main Street.
There you go.
And if you're gonna order something from Luxor Lounge, make
they
sure
gotta do?
Annette is the one cooking it.
Oh my God! My son also works with me. He cooks as well.
He got skills,
he got
coming up,
skills.
but he
coming
ain't
up.
Annette.
Okay.
Well, nobody'll be in that, but he's
And
still
look,
good.
and that's the part. You want to give black businesses an opportunity to not only meet your expectations but exceed your expectations.
And
Talk to
sometimes even when we don't meet expectations,
Yeah.
don't act like you ain't never got no cold French fries from McDonald's.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
Acting all bougie. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Yeah.
You ain't gotta go blast and tell the whole world. Just come back and say, "Hey, my fries."
my fries are cold. Exactly.
Exactly. We'll take care of
We
you.
take care of it.
Yeah, we like feedback. This is how we
Exactly.
get better.
This is how we get
Exactly.
better. We don't
Yeah.
get better if you're not telling us.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, don't whisper behind our back. Go post something on
I ain't
Google.
never
or
coming
yell.
back.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Come on,
Exactly.
man.
Everybody got a bad day.
Exactly.
At
Everybody
least
have an off
one.
day.
At least
Yeah,
one.
at least one. Monica made a song. It's just one of them days.
Yeah,
Just
you're
one.
right.
Or-
It's
or-
one of them
no, there's an
days.
older song that said, "Mama said there'll be days like this."
Mama
That's
said
true.
every day's like this. There you go. There you go. Once again.
Oh, I just told on
finding-
myself, didn't
You
I?
did. You did. I was gonna let it slide, but I was like, you see, I looked over there like, okay, granddad.
Younger folks ain't gonna
Great
get
grandfather.
this by next month, right? Well,
Yeah,
a couple
January.
more months. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Once again, thanks for tuning in to the Finding the New Black Wall Street podcast. Look out for the book. It's going to be exclusively in Black Dot Bookstore. Signing out. Peace, everybody.
All right, bye bye. Hey. That was actually fun. I gotta dig in the cast.
Hit the, you turn it off.